Okay, here we are. This is the follow-up for the aluminum MIG wire feeding welding thing. So anyway, this is what I had to do. As you can see, this is the piece, and this is why it had to be squirted, because I guess if I was going to try and heliarc this thing, I probably would lose what's left of my mind, and it wouldn't lend itself, to heliarc. I mean, here's my hand. You can see the depth of this thing, and there's not very much space in here. Another reason I didn't want to have to use the spool gun. The spool gun is clumsy and awkward and all of that. I just wanted to be able to do it with the regular, M25, the regular, standard size MIG gun. So, I guess obviously you're getting the idea here. I can honestly say, for the most part, I don't have it completely welded, because look at this. We have an empty spool of wire. So, and it's I guess we can say it's a success, because look, no birds nesting, it actually worked. I mean, I literally used this thing right up till, let's see, look at that. There we go. Till it ran out. I mean, that's the way it ended. It stopped welding, and I looked over here, and this is what I had. I had an empty spool. So I can honestly say, now I will say, it did at one point, I guess I was probably a little more than halfway through the spool, and it stopped feeding. It didn't bird's nest, it stopped feeding. I lifted the helmet, I was welding, I lifted the helmet, I squeezed the trigger, and the rollers were rolling, but the spool wasn't moving. So, though my scheme here, as I keep calling it, works, again, this is just a commercial half 13, lock washer and wing nut here. Even though I had very little tension, to create very little drag on this, it was probably still too much as the spool got down and it was wound, tighter and tighter on this spool. So I guess I'm gonna have to pay more attention to that, and after I weld a little, I'm gonna have to come over here and maybe occasionally or very, very, in other words, put this on here and put like very, very little drag, and then just check it periodically. But aside from that, yeah, I mean, again, this is aluminum MIG. It's only gonna get so good. I mean, this is why I don't like this shit. I mean, in plain English, it's in my opinion, it's just not a good way to weld aluminum, I mean, but it's respectable. It's, I mean, I'm satisfied that it's pretty well, in there, and again, I just didn't, well, naturally, like I say, I'm out of wire. I got to do a fair bit more of welding on this. Again, this is why I when I took this thing apart, I made marks, as to where the welds go and the direction to put the weld, and that's where you can see I tried to grind and clean the oxides. But here's the thing, is that, this gun, even this, it's you're at a kind of an awkward, let's see, you're kind of at an awkward hand angle even here, you know what I'm saying? So to have stuck the spool gun in here, which is, let's see, let me show you my spool gun. Obviously, I think I showed it to you. This is, I mean, look at this thing. I mean, it's just it's just a straight nozzle with this clumsy back end. I mean, to have, and the damn thing is heavy as hell too. So to have had to have done that, I'm not sure, to create an angle, I'm sure I would not have been able to properly, get it up on the wall here. The floor part would be all right, but I don't know about getting up on the wall. So that's why I really was determined to do this the way I'm doing it. So anyway, that's about it, I think, for now. I mean, there's no, like I say, I'm out of wire. I don't have another spool of 53, 56 in the 047, the 3/64 diameter, and it's now the afternoon, so I'm going to have to, you know, wait till tomorrow to get to the welding supply and get another spool of wire. But yeah, I think as far as the whole deal goes, you know, we can kind of call it, you know, relatively, you know, successful, I think. So like I said, I'm pretty happy it worked, and like I said, I'm just going to need some fine-tuning on this. In fact, maybe what I could do, even I mean, I'm going to finish the job. Like I said, I know I can just pay attention to it now, but maybe what I'll do is I'll experiment a little more with this. In fact, maybe I'll take this out afterwards and turn this down and go back to like a 3/8 thread on this, so that or even less, maybe even a smaller thread than that, so that I can use another wing nut with a smaller, you know, a less. In fact, maybe what I could do is take the lock washer I'm going to use, you know, put it down on the bench and give it a little crack with the hammer to reduce the tension even a little. And like I said, maybe a finer thread would be, you know, a better way to go. But yeah, overall, I think we can say I'll easily be able to achieve what I wanted to with this thing. So I think that's great. So that wraps this up. And like I said, I just felt I wanted to. I said in the other video I was going to include, you know, let you know where I was going with this whole thing and what the reason was. So that's about it. And coming up soon, I want to do, again, a couple people have asked, I want to do a whole video on I'm really getting to love this welder more and more as I use it. This is my Hobart, what is it, Mega Flex 450, CCNCV. It's amazing. It's been a great machine, and I kind of put this thing together late last fall, and I've been intending to do a whole video on it. And I'm sure in my videos you see this here, these panels laying up against my sander here. So I just wanted to let you know that that's coming. I'm going to actually pull this thing out and kind of do a whole, what would you say, a whole rundown on how I got it, what I did with it, and how I essentially, you know, component part put it together. And man, it's been amazing. You know, like I said, I haven't even had that thing a year yet, but it's really good. It's old. I mean, I think it's from the late 60s, early 70s, whatever. But yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we're gonna, like I said, that'll probably be coming up, and of course I got some other stuff coming. So some interesting stuff, I guess, and I'll try to video it as I go. So like I said, thank you for watching. And if you enjoy what you see, please feel free to subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And remember, as some famous guy once said, everybody polka. See you next time. Bye.